Good morning from Yanni BTV once again. Now look, this one is really going to set the cat amongst the pigeons. Everyone's going to be coming out on this one. Now, we spoke about the incident at HMP Category A prison, namely Frankland, the other day, and the serious assault on those prison officers allegedly by a baby with cooking oil, right? So they were seriously injured. Now, we also spoke about him being on a separation wing with a few others that are deemed not allowed to communicate or be in contact with any other prisoners apart from themselves, right? For obvious reasons. Now, we've got into that bit already. So we find that Abedi is down to segregation in isolation all on his own, absolutely, which is to be expected. But what they've done now is the rest of those Muslim prisoners that were on that separation wing, they have now been moved to a separation wing at HMP Woodhill. Now, look, it is remarkable. We'll go into a little bit of Tommy's situation and how this, coincides with what he was asking and what he is actually getting. Now, Tommy Robinson has asked for, which is really basically a simple request for the one thing that might make him feel a little bit better while he's on his own in a segregation. Let's not forget that they moved about 20-odd prisoners to make room for Tommy Robinson to be in the segregation on his own. But he did ask to go on the separation wing. One, because it's got the cooking facilities. I mean, they could easily have given into that request. And even if there were others on that separation wing at Woodhill, where these other prisoners have gone now, they could have easily unlocked him on his own and helped, when he wants to cook food on his own, get that done. Give him that little bit of, what he's really entitled to, that you're giving others that are entitled to it, that are actually in and doing big sentences for horrific crimes. Now, we find out also, before we carry on, that what the governor was saying that he was getting by way of privileges down in Woodhill, and that it would seem that he's living the life of Riley and at a Butlins holiday camp, right? Seems to be not quite factual. That, in fact, Tommy has been spending certain days where he doesn't come out of his cell, where he doesn't get to make phone calls for 2 days at a time, that he's not getting any scheme regularly, consistently, to put it, like exercise, not even coming out for that sometimes, right? But, right, so we know that she's been, whoever the governor is, she's probably been found out there. So Tommy's not going to really be Tommy's team's not really going to be saying that unless it's really true. They're not going to come out and say things that ain't true, that they could get, black marks on, so to speak. The remarkable thing in all this is that they keep talking about the cooking facilities and having access to oil and how we're going to stop this and how we're going to stop that. What do? You move them all to a separation wing in Woodhill, where you have access to cooking facilities. You couldn't really make it up whether they will be allowed or whether, they won't be allowed, the kitchen will be shut. It might be just housing them because there's nowhere else to put them all at this present time. It doesn't take away the fact of Tommy Robinson not getting simple entitlements as a civil prisoner. And don't make me laugh, some of you lot. They will never, ever be able to stop the kitchens in the Category A's. And they won't ever be able to just blame, stop those kitchens for just supposedly dangerous Muslims alone, right? So it couldn't get any worse. And there you have it. But that is big breaking news.